Well, it's spring. Starting to hear neighbors mowing the grass, I hear the birds chirping. It's warm out, and I think we had our last really cold night last night. So it's time to get out and start working in this garden. It doesn't look like much right now, but in a few weeks, it's going to be growing like crazy. There's some things that have been growing all winter, like spinach. I started this last fall, and we've been picking some of it, but now I can uncover it because it's getting warm enough. Look at that. Is that beautiful or what? Look at that. I need to cut some spinach and freeze some spinach and weed. Now, the only thing I'm nervous about the spinach is I think the rabbits are still getting in the garden. They don't seem to like spinach that much, so I should be okay, but it makes me a little nervous uncovering it. We'll see. How much can a rabbit eat? But that's doing well. The other thing I have to uncover is my broccoli. I planted that a few weeks ago, and it was really cold night, so I kept the fleece on it. Now it's time to take the fleece off and just keep the regular netting. So let's see how the broccoli fared.
You know what looks great though?
What?
Right behind you, all your strawberry bedding.
Yes, they're doing great.
Yeah, making it through the winter, and
hopefully we're going to get a bunch of strawberries off these, and there's 4 rows over there. So, we all love strawberries. So this excites us. One of the most exciting parts of the garden is strawberries. So let's see how the broccoli made out. Time to plant some broccoli. This is an exciting time of year. Everything is coming alive, the birds are chirping, and it's going to be warm enough that I can plant broccoli out. We still have some cold nights coming, but it can handle the cold. So first thing I did was to put the hoops up and get ready to put the netting over. And then I went through and pulled weeds. And last fall we prepared the bed by putting compost on and then leaves over the top. So all I have to do is push the leaves aside, dig the hole, stick the broccoli in. And I'm using my handy dandy measuring stick that somebody wonderful made me last year. I'm going to put them 18 inches apart. So I think I'll start right about here. So I'm just going to dig all the holes first and then stick the plants in. And then I'll be putting compost around each plant, partially composted compost. That's what I did last year on the advice of Chelsea from Little Mountain Ranch. Put partially composted manure right around the plant, and then I'll just put mulch everywhere else. Mulch it heavily to keep the weeds down and keep the moisture in.
And it really worked well last year,
It worked.
didn't it?
I mean, that's a very good piece of advice.
Yeah.
That was, because I've never grown good broccoli until last year. And what she said to do worked well. So I will be doing that every year. But this is the fun part of gardening, planting. It's fun starting the seeds and stuff too, but this is like really it. Now it's like, it's gonna turn into something. I do have my tags marking what's planted, plus I'm gonna put a note in my phone how many of each one I have in the row, what order. So by the end of the year, I should know which ones are which.
Okay, but what if one dies and then you only have 7 instead of 8?
Well, I'll know because there'll be a spot. They're 18 inches apart, so I'll know there's one missing.
Okay.
But nothing's gonna die, are you kidding?
Nothing gets past you.
Nothing's gonna die. But look at that beautiful broccoli.
Wow, that is nice. Hey, I have a question for you.
What?
What's the single most satisfying part of gardening? Is it planting, like you're going to do right now? Is that, I mean, I'm not a gardener, but to me that would be like, that's the big thrill.
This is pretty fun, yeah, I gotta say. And I think when I put these, I'm actually gonna take the 2 bottom leaves off and plant it a little bit low. I'll have to get my clippers.
What are those leaves called?
Well, those aren't cotyledons, they're real leaves, but I want to plant it plenty low.
Okay.
So.
Cotyledons, huh?
Yeah. One beautiful broccoli planted.
Had that right at the...
Doesn't that look pretty?
Your fingertips. Okay.
Pretty
yeah,
well.
that is
now,
cool.
see, they're a little bit root bound, so I'm just pulling the roots apart at the bottom. So they kind of start spreading out down there. Yeah.
So are you going to have just 1 row?
Yes, I think. I have a lot of broccoli.
You had 2 rows last year, right?
Well, I had a whole row of broccoli, and then I had another whole row of cauliflower and cabbage. But I'm not doing as many cauliflower and cabbage this year. Still doing a lot of broccoli, but not many people in the family like cauliflower. So I'll do some of them, and some cabbage, but not as much as last year. So broccoli's the big crop.
But you had them staggered or zigzagged.
I did them a little bit staggered, but I want to just keep everything simple this year. Straight rows, easier to mulch, easier to weed. Just, I'm simplifying.
Okay.
Sound like a good idea?
Yeah.
Make it a little bit easier.
Adding a puppy simplify thing too?
Yeah, that doesn't fall in the simplifying category. That falls in the we're crazy category.
Yeah.
But she's so adorable. She is so adorable. We can't. Don't regret that 1 second. She's a sweetie. She's so cute. Not always an angel, but she's pretty good. So I can't complain. She sleeps all night. That's a big plus. This soil is really good soil.
Oh, it does. It looks amazing.
I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
oh, it's good. I'm so excited. I mean, when we first started this garden, this whole area had been like just traditionally farmed for probably 100 and some years.
Yeah, 200 years.
Yeah, yeah. So the soil was fertile. This is a very fertile section of Pennsylvania, but there was no life, no worms, no good bacteria, any of that stuff going. So we have worked for 4 years adding organic material and adding things to get this soil good. And it is, I mean,
Those
it's good.
cows have contributed mightily.
Yes, they have. The cows, the chickens,
Yeah.
all the garbage, food scraps. It all makes for beautiful plants. So I think we're gonna have a good year. I hope. That's the dream.
So if we get a frost coming up this next week,
It'll be fine. We
you're
might.
fine?
I'm gonna put the netting over it, the mesh netting, and I'm also gonna put fleece over it for the first couple weeks until I know there's no frost coming. And broccoli might be okay, but I'm gonna just baby it a little bit. But then I'll be able to just take the fleece off and the netting will stay on to protect it from the cabbage moths. I planted this broccoli about 3 weeks ago, and it would have been probably okay without the fleece, but there was a couple nights in the high 20s. So call me cautious, but I wanted to cover it with fleece. So now I can just get rid of this for the season and just keep this regular netting on.
So is that a heavyweight fleece?
The fleece was pretty heavy, yeah.
Okay.
It protected it.
And then this is just screening, right?
This is just it's a mosquito netting to keep the, I guess, cabbage moths and other things will come in and lay eggs on the broccoli and they'll eat the
Yeah.
crap out of my broccoli.
Yeah.
So it's looking pretty good. I'll soon go in and pull some of the lower leaves off. But it's looking pretty good. I need to water. It hasn't rained now for a little bit. Although it's gonna rain tomorrow. That's right, it'll get rained on tomorrow, perfect. But I have these wonderful wire hoops that should hold the stuff off the broccoli.
They look great.
This row is in good shape.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
So it goes the whole way down. That's like
That's
75 feet.
I have to figure out, I'll count them how many there are. But yeah,
Wow.
75 feet worth of broccoli plants. Our grandkids love broccoli, and
Yeah.
we like broccoli.
Uh-huh.
So we're gonna have a lot. But that's a good thing. So that's exciting to see something actually growing. This is one of the first things that really gets taken off. That, and I saw a few asparagus shoots.
Oh, let's get a picture of those.
Okay, that's exciting too. I guess a lot of it's exciting.
Nothing like gardening in February.
Hey, it's almost 50. So when it's almost 50, I get outside.
All right.
I can get a jump start on things, you know? Get my,
Okay, so what are you doing here?
I'm getting my asparagus cut back, and I'll probably get some compost in and put compost on it, get it fed for the year.
Okay.
But that's one of the first things to come up, so I can also pull weeds out that I see in here.
It doesn't look like much right now, though, does it? Looking at
No, but it will. There's going to be a boatload of asparagus in here this year. We had a lot last year. There's
we
going to be
did.
even more this year. One thing I want to get seeded is cilantro. We love cilantro. I could have done this a couple weeks ago, actually. It loves the cold weather. It can't grow once it gets too hot. It just bolts. So I have a little trench. I'm just going to drop them in.
Wow, you're going pretty fast there.
I'm just dropping little seeds in the trench. And what I do usually is I let a couple of the plants go to seed and just let those seeds fall and keep seeding all through the summer. And I just kind of keep a continuous crop of cilantro all year long. Now I'll just push some dirt back over it, water it in, and in a few weeks we are going to have some cilantro. Voila. these are the coleus that I plotted up in the first one. Remember, I put them in and I chopped all the tops off and they looked like they were massacred. This is how they look now,
Yeah, it looks
like 3 to 4 weeks later.
To them.
But they're beautiful. They're all doing well except this one, but he's sprouting out. I think he'll be fine.
Where?
The little guy right there.
Okay.
He's gonna be fine. And the one over here, he's got a little growth. So I think he's gonna sprout out and grow. We'll see.
It's amazing. They're really filled out and bushy, even though they're short. They're very
And I will
full.
probably be topping these one more time to make them bush out even more. But these flowy ones, they'll just have, a couple different sets of leaves
that's
flowing
right.
down
They
over the
flow
pot.
down over.
Yeah, whereas these just bush out and go up. They're beautiful. I mean, they get the bright pink in them.
Yeah,
I love these things.
that's impressive.
Yeah, they're cool looking. And all for free. Just a little effort and work. So, fun, exciting stuff, huh?
Thank you for being so thrifty.
It's okay, all the tops that I cut off those already rooted coleus are now rooted, big time. I think it's been about 3 or 4 weeks. Look at that. So
Wow.
they need to be potted.
Cool.
That's a lot of roots. So I just have to pull them out, separate them, and get them in their own little pots. I told you, coleus root really,
Just
really
shocking
easily.
to me sometimes of how you can handle a plant and it,
They're pretty tough. They're amazingly tough. All right.
All right, let me see that one completely.
Look at those beautiful roots.
Yeah. Nice.
Now I just have to poke a hole, stick those roots down in there, and he or she will grow.
Wow.
This tray are the coleus that I had rooted from last summer. I took pieces off my coleus in September or October, rooted them all winter and planted them. And then these are the ones,
Wait, let's see that first tray.
look at them. Remember, I took the tops off of all of them. They looked horrible. But look at them. Look how full they are.
Wow.
And these are the tops that I took off of them. Look at that.
So you can't really tell which are which.
No, they've both done amazingly
The
well.
mother plant or the...
So that all came from a couple little sprigs that I took off my plants last summer. Free coleus. We're going to have coleus everywhere.
It's hard to imagine how much that would cost at the garden center.
A lot. A lot.
So
Oh.
I should be very happy you like to do this.
Yes, you should. You should be very happy about everything. These are the tomatoes I seeded. Potted up once, potted up a second time. Look at them. Tell me those aren't beautiful tomatoes.
Wow.
I think I have 105 tomatoes throughout here. So we should have a good tomato year, barring any unforeseen circumstances. They are doing wonderfully. These are the zinnias I started extra early that I'm going to try to put out in the tunnel before it's really time. I'm going to experiment. And they aren't looking that healthy. They need to get into bigger pots, and these pots actually have a little bit of fertilizer mixed in with them. So they're going to perk up probably within a couple of days of going in here. And I just have to make a hole. This is the big dibbler Donnie made. And then it's just a matter of popping them out of their little 6-pack. And these are Zinnia Queenie.
Now you get them out of there without breaking the 6-pack?
There you go.
Oh, wow.
Look at
You
all those
see the
roots. See, they
Oh,
they need more room.
Yeah.
And you stick it down in there, voila. Healthy little zinnia.
Boom.
And they will take off.
So they're going to green up. They're really
Yep.
a light green.
They'll get darker with the fertilizer in there.
Okay.
But they're going to grow. I'll have lots of zinnias, but then also today I'll be starting more from seed that I'll plant later, probably more in normal time frame. These are early. I'll be risking a little bit, putting them out in the tunnel, but I think they'll be okay. Between being in the tunnel and if I cover them with a fleece, I think they'll be fine.
So can you answer a question for me?
Maybe, if I know the
Keeps me
answer.
up at night sometimes.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Is it zinnia or zinnia?
I think it's either one. I've heard both. I think it's whatever you want to call it. They're just beautiful. That's what I call them.
Okay.
I mean, they're an amazing cut flower in any bouquet. You know, they mix with like everything. And they're an old-fashioned kind of farm flower. I just love them.
Yeah.
They just have a charm, you know? And here comes
I know
coral.
I'm extra charmed when they get them for free.
Yeah. Well, and this time of year, when they bloom, we always have flowers in the house.
Yeah.
That's the one nice thing about selling cut flowers. You always have flowers because, you know, if they don't sell at the farm stand at the end of the day, we just get lots of bouquets of flowers. Or I give them to the neighbors or give them to the family. You just always have flowers. It's just, I don't know, there's something about fresh flowers in a house that just, I don't know, makes it feel warm, cozy, just, exciting. And see, some of these didn't germinate. I had a couple here that didn't germinate, so I only have 4 coral. But I'll plant more of those in the next batch.
So do you think your new puppy's going to want to chew on some of your flowers this year?
The new puppy will want to chew on everything this year. I'm going to have to really be careful where I let her, what she does. I'll try to get her out in the garden with me sometimes, but right now she would be eating the dirt, the plants, the sticks, the bugs. She tried to eat a worm this morning. It was laying on the driveway. So I'm going to have to protect my plants, protect everything from her sweet little shark teeth.
So how many of these then do you have to do?
I think I have 42 zinnias, so I have a whole tray and a partial tray.
Okay. So early experiment,
Yeah,
2024.
my early zinnias, or zinnia. So, I mean, if they do work, I will have cut flowers early because there'll be some other things growing out, you know, wild that I can mix in for filler.
So I wonder if the name of zinnia or zinnia pronunciation varies by region
Probably.
or by country.
Yeah, I wonder what they call it over in Europe.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch some European
I
videos, see
know.
what they say.
You know, we have a lot of friends in New Zealand and Australia
have
too.
to ask them what they say.
Yeah.
I think they all agree they're just beautiful.
Yeah.
And they're so versatile, you know? And they have so many different colors now. It's amazing. I love them. And this part of gardening, I love uppotting, you know? You're giving the plants a healthy, healthy chance to grow big and strong. They got
Well, I know
started.
a lot of people get a thrill getting in the dirt.
Yeah.
Just that feeling, you know.
And it's good for you. It really is,
Yeah.
you know?
It seems soul satisfying.
It is.
It doesn't do it for me. Fishing does
Yeah.
that for me.
You go fishing, I'll play in the dirt.
All right.
That sound like a good deal?
And then we'll meet up for dinner.
That sounds like a perfect day to me. Remember those sick-looking zinnias that were kind of yellow and yucky and I was potting up? Look at them now. I actually cut the tops off of them too so they'd branch out more. Look
Wow.
at those babies. They are, look, one's, oh my word, all Rona already has a flower on the top. So I think some of these are going out to the tunnel actually on Monday.
Beautiful.
It looks like really cold nights are done. So I'm going to chance probably, I don't know, maybe 12 or 14 of them and put them out and see what happens. So I'll have to figure out which ones am I willing to risk.
So what's that yellow thing sticking out the front?
That is a fungus gnat catcher because I do
what?
have some fungus gnats. See
Okay.
those little things on there?
Ah,
Yep.
where do they come from?
I don't know how they come in. If they come in through the soil, the potting soil, or what. I don't have any worm castings or anything in these yet, but something in there was enough to cause some fungus gnats to start. So
There's a lot of stuff growing in here, isn't
yes, snapdragons, all kinds of herbs, flowers, lots of flowers, more snapdragons. Oh, and these are the zinnias that I seeded up the second batch. Look how big they are already.
there? Nice.
Plus, I also seeded in the garden. I did the lettuce you saw, I did kale, I did carrots, beets, sugar peas, and peas. And I planted the cauliflower and the cabbage. So everything is ramping up, getting ready for a wonderful 2024 season, hopefully.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining me as I start prepping for the year. And we'll see you in our next video. Bye-bye.